Invite Salamander. Hopefully we can join finally and get this going. So let's see. Sal is active now. Send a request. Sorry, trying to figure all this out. Sal should be joining me shortly. He's a member of the Manchester Point Arena Native Americans, and he is very knowledgeable in a lot of the language and such. So it'll be a good treat to have him on. And then if anybody has any questions or anything like that, you can comment, or I'm going to post it to my YouTube as well. I'm going to repost it on Instagram as well. So you'll be able to rewatch it or whatever once he comes on, and we can get going. So yeah, thank you guys for watching or joining. What up, Beanzolini? Been trying this like a couple of times now, trying to figure it out. No, you're a king. Oh, we're here. Okay, what's up, Sal? How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for joining me.
Seems
Oh, I just dropped my phone. Sorry.
it's all right. There seems to be a bit of a lag, but it's good.
I do see that. But yeah, thank you for joining me. How was that school board meeting?
School meeting was great today. Actually, one of the major highlights is that we're in the middle of getting a land acknowledgement approved, where it acknowledges the the sovereignty, the unceded lands and sovereignty of the Manchester Banapomo Indians, of the Manchester Point Arena Rancheria, and the Kishaya Banapomo Indians, and also recognizes that we also recognize that they still continue on their traditions and those kind of things, like them living with the land is still continued to this day.
Awesome, hell yeah.
The statement is better, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. We talked about that and talked about like how can we, what are we going to do with it, and the president, Madam President Cindy Sione, she's looking forward to using this statement as a part of the Pledge of Allegiance. So like either before or after the Pledge of Allegiance at every board meeting.
Oh wow.
And then like they took it a step farther in asking if the tribes had flags, because they were thinking of wanting to also put the tribal flags up with the United States flag, the U.S. flag, and the California flag on the flagpoles.
So okay, that kind of already like jumps into our first question, telling everybody where you're from and stuff. We did this last week and we didn't press record, or I didn't press record, so this is why we're doing it again live. So hopefully, yeah. And if you want to just introduce yourself real quick, like you did last time, and then where you're from, and then where like your family's from and stuff like that.
Yeah. So Chame Maya to everyone that's here watching. Doshi Il Sal Martinez, Boka Akoyo Pidawi Cheche Napoma Akoyo. My name is Sal Martinez. I am of the Manchester Banapomo Indians of the Manchester Point Arena Rancheria, and I'm also on the school board and a former school board of the Point Arena Schools District, and I'm also a former tribal council person, secretary, under the title of secretary. So it's a pleasure to be here with Juan, and looking forward to the discussion, whatever he has to ask.
That's awesome, man. I didn't know you were part of the school board. How long have you done that for?
So I was elected on the school board back in like oh man, I think like 2018.
Wow, that's cool, man.
I think it's 2018, 2019, one of the two. But my reelection is going to be in 2022.
Nice, man. I really like that you're giving back to the community and stuff, and doing that type of thing. And that kind of leads into the next question. How do you feel about natives getting into politics and stuff like that? Because you're
So
kind of in that, you know.
yeah, so like I mean, I'm obviously in it myself,
Yeah.
and it's like what I said before in our unrecorded session was that natives get involved with as many possible things as many things as possible. Hold on, let me shut it. And that that but you know, when it comes to politics, that native people are definitely needed in politics. Like there definitely needs to be a voice. There definitely needs to be a presence. Or they're just not, or we're just not going to get. We're not going to get thought about. We're not going to get talked about. Left out. You know. So it's really important that we do involve ourselves in many aspects of politics, or even many aspects of law. And you know, even in the workforce, you know, definitely, you know, it's definitely needed.
I think in
Uh,
education as well.
of course, yeah. So it's like, you know, like even like we need native teachers, we need
Absolutely.
native administrators, we need native, like all kinds of things native. Like, you know, like we're definitely in dire need of that. And then also too, it's like you know, it shouldn't be seen as something like a sellout move or something, because it's like uh, you know, especially when you come from a background of say, like, you know, my grandmother was a former chairwoman, and then also too, like my uncle, he was a former treasurer at the tribe at once upon a time. And and that, you know, they also understood too that, you know, our voices are definitely important to be involved and to be expressed that way.
Well, you have a lot of family members. You're following your family members' paths and doing these type of things, huh? Couple at a
More or
time.
less. I mean, it's
Yeah.
sort of just like kind of just like, well, the need obviously kind of pushed me in there. I mean, like when I got on the school board, somebody just messaged me asking like, hey, there's like these two board members that are looking for people that may be interested. I thought of you. Uh, you know, they're planning on meeting at the Chowder House. Do you want to meet them? And I was just all like, sure, why not? I never really thought about the school board. That's it, until I got asked that. So it's like I sort of just like fell into that role. That's all I did. It's just like even with tribal council, somebody asked me like, you know, would you be interested in that? I think like you're able to, you could bring something to the table and all that stuff. And I was just like, yeah, sure, why not?
Absolutely, man. You're super knowledgeable. I love all the stuff that you put on Facebook. Like everything you have on Facebook is super knowledgeable. And that's like I said,
Mm-hmm.
like and I remember back in the day too, like you doing a lot of poetry and like rap and stuff. I remember, and you and your brother like kind of got me into it. I remember going to the tech center with you guys back in the day, and
Oh yeah,
making a couple beats and stuff. And I think we
yeah.
need more stuff like that as
I
well.
was
You
like
know,
into yeah. Oh,
we
go
need
ahead.
stuff like that, more like after school programs and stuff. I don't, you know, other things. We need more money. You know, it sucks that we to say that, but we just need more funding in places. Just like every other like underfunded place.
That's
You know.
true. Yeah, not only if there's like, say, like, not only if do we need people in general, but also it's like, you know, the funding needs to be there to back it up to sort of kickstart it off. Or even then, even a community that understands investment, and that also means even like presence and like events like that. Like, I mean, I remember somebody actually offered that, or even told me that idea, and saying that, like, you know, wouldn't it be cool if, like, if you were to set up like a once a month thing, like how they do Third Thursday poetry in town, like, you know, just do that over there at the senior site. And then I said, you know, I could see it working for like 1 week or 1 month, like probably have a good turnout. But then say like the second, third, fourth, fifth, it would sort of like fizzle out.
Yeah, I see. I
And
see.
that's, yeah, so it's like, so it's really hard. And then on top of that too, like, you know, trying to make that investment where it's say like, you know, if we were to find a locale that like, uh, you know, whether it's at the senior site or even at a place where people can be comfortable, where it's like, you know, beer and wine, you know, paninis, freaking chocolate muffins, whatever you want to think of.
Yeah.
That you know, like, how often is that going to happen? And plus too, you know, not everybody's retired. A lot of the people that go out to those poets, like, I was the youngest one there. And if I
You cut
wasn't the
out.
youngest one, oh yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
But if I wasn't, okay, but like if I wasn't the youngest one, that there was like some other younger, they came from a background of, you know, of money, so they have that flexibility. So it's like we're definitely not the same in that sense, where, you know, we're consisted of, you know, we're the working class, and we have to worry about money every day.
Yeah, we don't have the luxury of kind of just going out and doing things like that on a regular basis. You know, we have to work and stuff. And I kind of want to go back on something you said about joining politicians and not, it's like selling out. A lot of these things, a lot of reses and like culture is like doing things like that, like becoming like going to school or becoming like learning a trade. It's like kind of said it's like you're being white or like you know that's like you said selling out. And I think we need to change that narrative and like kind of
Totally.
yeah, kind of make it more of like a thing to just like be healthy, be like health conscious, you know, other things, be conscious about other things, you know. And I just want to kind of see your feedback on that.
Yeah, I think like one of the biggest miscommunications about being in government is understanding your role as a person that you got elected to be. Like understanding that role, and also understanding like that trust can take you a long way. And there's like a lot of our folks have trust issues, whether it's in leadership or whether even it's the voting population. We have trust issues, and it's understandable, but at the same time, it's not getting us anywhere. If we have distrust amongst each other, we can't really move forward in a real unified way. And I always get the sense of like anytime when we express ideas to each other or whatever, there's always this sense of distrust. Like, what is he going to get out of this? Or like is he trying to manipulate or do something like that? It's just like, no, in a sense, like, you know, especially when it comes to language for me, which I'm really passionate about. It's just like, no, I just want us to feel comfortable in our with our identity again.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
like how it was before the Spaniards came, before the Americans came. You know, like I want us to be comfortable with that. I want us to be comfortable seeing our language on a street sign. I want us to be comfortable in seeing our language in the casino. I want us to be comfortable with that, because right now people aren't comfortable with that. That I've
Absolutely.
talked to, people aren't comfortable with that.
Hell yeah, absolutely. I agree, man. And I love all the language that you've been sharing on Instagram and Facebook as well. It's really knowledgeable. And I love the names that you express for this little thing that I'm doing as well. And I just wanted I just wanted to hear those again real quick if I could. It was really talking and then stories. So stories was Batu, right?
Yeah, it was Batu,
Ba
Batu.
Batu, and then
But that mean, but really that means like it can mean stories, but then it could also mean like it could also mean like a dream person, a person who dreams.
I like that one
But
too. I
mainly,
like that.
but mainly, but mainly that's mainly applied to somebody who has like who's like a spiritual leader is a Batu.
Oh, okay, okay. I really like
Yeah.
the dream aspect, and that kind of goes into my
Hmm.
next question. So, what are some aspects of your culture that you wish to share with others?
Pretty much like I don't know, anything and everything. Like I posted a picture of a stack of torch. That's the family name. I've, there's more people that say torts though, so torts, stack of torts, and what was it? And like I asked on there, I was like, if I go live, would anybody watch me like make this? And then there's a group of people that supported it. I was totally happy for that. There was
Absolutely,
like
man.
one or two, felt like it was kind of
Um,
sensitive to share that. But then I was just like, well, you know, if you really think about it, like the ingredients isn't like like it's part of a Texas state bread. Like, come on now.
yeah, it's like you said last time or last discussion. It's three, I think two or three ingredients
Mm-hmm.
for fry bread, or so it's simple, super simple. My mom taught me that one. That one's real easy. I can do that one easily, but
Yeah.
I can't do tub tub or yeah, I can't do that. Or I can't make my mom makes really good tortillas too. I can't do that yet.
I know she's the chini master.
Yeah, she makes that good chutney. I love that. Um,
but uh, but and then too, it's like for 3 years I was or yeah 3 years been putting on the Garcia River Graphs Games tournament, and
yeah.
so yeah,
Um,
that's how I've been sharing and trying to open up like a venue for folks to come out and learn how to play, learn songs, and also on top of that, like if you know how to do the two, you may win a chance to win like $500 first place. So
that's rad, man. And then yeah, you do have that shirt on right now. I saw that. Yeah.
yeah.
I never learned how to play that game. I was always intrigued, but I was always afraid to learn, honestly.
Hmm.
And I don't know why. We went to my mom used to take us to big times and stuff. And I was always afraid to just go join in with other kids and play for some reason. I don't know why. Shy, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very social game. I mean, you're face to face with people and you're having to socialize.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's a real social game, and it's really fun. And there's singing involved. I know that people's biggest fear is singing. I know
Yeah,
that's a lot of people's biggest fear is singing. But at the same time, it's just like once you break through that, then there's a different level of confidence that you have at that point. And that's
definitely.
something that people need to like probably like just think about that in their mind. Just be all like, I got to think about. I want to understand what Sal is saying about that level of confidence. Let's try to work on that. And
Absolutely.
that's something that I feel like that folks sort of get hung up on and says, "What if I'm not singing the songs right? What if dude, like, there's people who go to tournaments and they don't sing at all, and that's worse."
Yeah, yeah, you have if you're gonna
I'm
play,
telling you that right now.
if you're gonna play,
It's
you have to
worse.
join in and sing, and you have to do
Yeah, you
everything.
have to join
Yeah,
in and sing. And plus, it's nice. It's nice. It's cool when people sing and you're gambling. It just makes it more funner, is
yeah,
what it does.
absolutely. And then
Mm.
speaking of games and stuff, that kind of goes into my next question. How do you feel about Native American mascots being used, like in like sports teams with the Washington sports team, and then the Cleveland sports team, and then like a couple other ones being like pushing for change in those names?
I support that. I support the changes of the mascots. I support that they come from an era where they didn't consult with Native people about it. There was like maybe one or two instances where there was consultation, but at the same time, even those folks didn't necessarily have an opinion on it, and if they did, they were looked at in a manner that they didn't want to be looked at. In a way, like, you know, they were pretty much dictated by racism, the overt racism, and even like the overt racism, even in our schools, and at that time, and just like, you know, public opinion about Native people, and us being told enough to where we believed it,
Yeah, man.
and that, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's just like, yeah. So that's where I think it's good that because Black Lives Matter, that that we're starting to see some real traction in that. Like, I mean, it was huge when, because I wasn't seeing any real movement before Black Lives Matter started or was gaining stuff, you know, fortunate events. But because of that,
you cut out a little bit. What was that?
yeah, but because of that, like when it came to like George Floyd, you know, like unfortunate events that led up to, like, you know, a more of a movement for Black Lives Matter, that say, like, before all that there was no traction at all, but now, because Black Lives Matter, there's big corporations or investors, say in the NFL or even to, like, you know, the Washington team, that have said, if you do not change your mascot, we're going to pull our sponsorship. And that's what only got, you know, that is what got them to take out, to remove the R word logo and the name. So it's like, you know, even though you have, like, you know, a group of Native people who've been protesting every single year at Washington games, all it, you know, because, like, and I firmly believe that, like, you know, when I hear them leaders of Black Lives Matter, when they said, when Black Lives Matter, everybody lives matter. And that's true. That's really true. Because Black Lives Matter, Native, the racism or what was it? The racial depiction of Native people matters, you know, like the recognizing that. So it's just like it all strings together.
Absolutely.
And it's really thankful for, and again, it's like, it's really unfortunate that we have to, like, it took like hundreds of, if not thousands of uncalled for Black deaths for us to get to this point.
Absolutely. And also, like you said, like, they didn't consult with any, like, natives, and I'm pretty sure like, they don't give back to any Native American tribes. They don't hire any Native American, like, personnel. They don't have anybody that's Native American on the team. Like, you know, that, like,
so with the Washington team, when the criticism was gaining a little traction in, like, Native communities, and even starting to trickle into, like, you know, people that they, like, the fans, right? That, like, they all of a sudden were just all like, oh, we made a committee. It's all Native. We're putting in money towards, like, scholarships to where we could give to, like, Native communities and stuff. And so essentially at that point they were trying to, say, in a way, like, pay off Native communities, so that they're putting them on their side, making them their ally.
yeah.
And there were some people that did go for it. I mean, you know, so, like, okay, so then their logic was, like, if we could pay enough people or offer enough programs from the Washington Redskins name, that, like, you know, we can show people that, hey, we're, you know, because we're using a racial slur to honor you, you know, here we're giving back to communities, you know. So
Yeah.
that's that.
Which is ridiculous, you know. I'm glad they finally changed the name. I mean, it's been so many years since they've had it, and then, you know, I don't know what about, like, the Chiefs? How do you feel about that one? It's like, not. I don't know how I feel about that one.
No, the Chiefs need to get changed too, because, like, you know, again, you know, Native people, like, we're not mascots.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
We're very real people, and we have all kinds of issues that go on in our communities, and we don't need our ancestors to be made fun of anymore.
Absolutely.
Our ancestors and even us as Native people, we deserve respect.
I agree. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. And then that would kind of like leads me to like the last question or last comments. If you have anything you want to share about your people, yourself, you know what I mean? Yeah, just there's a little bit of freestyle this last little bit. If you want to just, say a little bit of your language or just whatever you want to go ahead and let the people know, about missing murdered Indigenous women or any of your grass game that you got going or anything like that.
Well, it's still early in the process. I'm still trying to work out some things, and so we can tell because this pandemic isn't over, and that I definitely want. I know that there's some people are definitely getting back into dancing and events too, and that's a beautiful thing. But for me personally, since I'm when it comes to this hosting the grass game tournaments, I'm a one man show, and that I would rather I want to make sure that people come to the event feeling safe, and that their kids are safe, and that stuff like that. So I'm still trying to work out trying to work with trying to get a working thing going with Skip, Sonoma County Indian Health Project, and trying to get what you call it definitely trying to get get the council on board and just supporting it. And it's to be candid, I definitely messaged Mr. Chairman and I asked him I would part of me wants to have the event, but then the other part of me wouldn't feel bad if somebody told me no, it's not a good time. I wouldn't feel bad. I would feel more sure to be like, okay, cool. I'm not the only one that kind of feels this way. I do want to have an event. There's that part of me. There's that social part of me that wants to have an event. But then there's the other part of me that I'm just like, well, what if this happens, that happens, and damn, I'm going to feel so bad if I hear afterwards somebody gets corona.
Yeah.
And then
absolutely.
they're having respiratory issues. So I feel like for me, I need multiple entities to be involved in my decision making, and that they would help me either feel more better about it, or they could just tell me no, I don't think it's a good time, and be like, okay, I totally respect that. Thank you for being for helping me out with that. I could wait. I could wait, but at the same time, I do, because this will be my 4th year in a row hosting a tournament. So.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, that's awesome,
man. And then too, and just sharing anything and everything. I guess just just for folks to who are watching, native, non-native, definitely be appreciative of where we are today, and that definitely say your prayers as much as possible, whether you're thinking about them or whatever, and just know that that you are your ancestors' prayers, and that all they ask of you is to live good and you do right always. No matter what you do in this life, you just harm nobody. Just as long as it doesn't harm nobody, that's all they ask of you to do. And that yes, we need a lot of positivity in Native communities and wherever Native people are at, because listen, reservation, you're an ambassador. I don't know if that caught that kind of lagged, but but just know that but just know that when you say even when you've been off the reservation, you grew up off the reservation for a long time, you're still an ambassador to your people, whether you like it or not, and that you represent all the people, even the ones you don't like, represent them too. And it's important that we do our best by by our relations, if not by the blood that carries us on even today. So
Awesome.
thank you, Juan,
Yeah,
for
thank
going live, and hope to see more people
Yeah, thank you, man.
in the
And
future.
I can send this to you once I download it to my phone, and then you can do whatever, put it on your Facebook, your YouTube, whatever, man. Thank you so much for joining me. That was some good answers, and I hope some people enjoyed your answers as well and the questions. And if anybody has any questions, go ahead and hit me up, and then we can relay the questions to Sal or whatever. All right, Sal. Thank you.
All right, Juan, you have a good one.
Yeah, you too, brother.